Where are you headed?
Montana.
Montana. If you ain't a fugitive, this is the luckiest thing that's ever happened to you.
A shocking twist has rocked the Yellowstone universe. Season 3 of 1923 is officially in the works. That's right. Against all odds, Taylor Sheridan is bringing the Duttons back for another round. But why now? What changed? And what does this mean for Spencer, Tiana, and the future of the Dutton legacy? The questions are piling up, and we've got answers. Let's break down everything we know so far about 1923 Season 3, including the hidden clues behind the scenes moves and the explosive possibilities that lie ahead. For months, the news was grim. 1923. Season 2 was supposed to be the end. Taylor Sheridan himself said it. The series was only ever meant to be a two-part story with a clear beginning and a definitive ending. Fans accepted it, even if it stung. The Duttons had fought their battles. Spencer was on a long road home. Tiana was finally starting to breathe free. And it seemed like that was it. Until now. Whispers started circulating in late 2024. Something was happening behind closed doors at Paramount. Sheridan, known for keeping things tight-lipped, had been unusually quiet. Then, a small leak, a casting call here, a production listing there, set the internet on fire. Could 1923 really be coming back? Fans held their breath. Then the confirmation came, yes, Season 3 is happening. So, what changed? According to sources close to the project, Sheridan never completely closed the door. While he'd originally crafted 1923 as a two-season arc, the characters had taken on a life of their own. The deeper he dove into the scripts for Season 2, the more he realized there was still more story left to tell. And not just any story. A darker, more dangerous chapter. One that could alter the Dutton family's fate forever. But it wasn't just Sheridan's shift in vision that brought Season 3 to life. The numbers spoke louder than any creative plan. 1923 broke streaming records when it premiered. Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren delivered career-defining performances. The show became a cultural moment, not just another spin-off. Paramount saw the demand, and more importantly, the opportunity. With Yellowstone coming to a close and its spin-offs holding the franchise together, extending 1923 was a strategic move. And Sheridan, he doesn't do anything halfway. Insiders say Season 3 won't be a simple extension. It's not just a continuation, it's a transformation, a new arc, a shift in tone. While Season 1 introduced the Dutton struggles and Season 2 expanded on them, Season 3 is expected to bring the story to its most intense point yet. We're talking full-blown conflict, deep betrayal, and a reckoning that's been building since the first episode. But let's not forget the emotional stakes. Spencer's journey isn't over. Last we saw him, he was still trying to make his way back to Montana, torn between love and duty. Alexandra's fate hangs in the balance. Will they reunite, or will tragedy strike again? Fans have waited long enough, and Season 3 promises to deliver answers, but not without heartbreak. Then there's Tiana. Her arc has been one of the most powerful in the series, shining a light on a brutal part of American history. She's escaped cruelty, endured loss, and is still running. But for how long? And at what cost? Season 3 may be the chapter where her story collides with the Duttons in a way no one expects. There's also speculation about new characters being introduced, figures from Spencer's past, powerful enemies of the Duttons, and maybe even familiar faces from other corners of the Yellowstone universe. Sheridan has always played the long game. With 1923 Season 3, he's setting up something big. And here's the most chilling part. This might not be the end either. While it's being framed as the final chapter, insiders say Sheridan is leaving room for spin-offs within spin-offs. Season 3 could birth a whole new branch of the Sheridanverse. Spencer Dutton's journey has never been easy. From the battlefields of World War I to the unforgiving wilds of Africa, he has fought tooth and nail for survival. But in Season 3, his greatest battle won't be against nature or war. It will be against time, fate, and his own inner demons. When we last saw Spencer, he was still fighting to return to Montana. Every step forward seemed cursed. Separated from Alexandra, forced to survive treacherous journeys, and haunted by memories of war, Spencer is no longer the man who left home. He's changed, hardened. And now, with Season 3 confirmed, we know his story isn't over. It's only just beginning. But what kind of man will return to the Yellowstone ranch? Spencer was once a symbol of strength, a protector of the Dutton name. Yet after all he's endured, there's a fear lingering in the minds of fans. Has he changed too much? Can he still save the family he swore to protect? Or will his past break him before he even gets there? In Season 3, that question becomes central, because time is running out. While Spencer has been trying to get home, the Duttons have been bleeding. Enemies are closing in, land is being taken, blood is being spilled. The war for the ranch has intensified, and Jacob Dutton, wounded, weary, and far from the man he used to be, can't hold the line forever. The family needs Spencer, but if he arrives too late, everything may already be lost. And then there's Alexandra. Her absence in Spencer's life has been one of the most painful threads in this saga. Separated by oceans and misfortune, their love has been tested like few others. Fans have been holding their breath, wondering if they'll ever reunite. Will they finally see each other again in Season 3? The show has been tight-lipped, but Sheridan is known for giving his characters hard roads before giving them peace, if he gives them peace at all. There's a cruel poetry in how their stories mirror the times uncertain, dangerous, and full of sacrifice. And with Alexandra now carrying Spencer's child, the stakes have never been higher. One wrong move, one missed connection, and the Dutton line could be changed forever. But there's another layer beneath Spencer's story, a chilling one. Throughout Season 2, fans noticed a shift in him, a coldness, a sense that he's not just coming back to protect his family, he's coming back to punish someone. Some even believe that Spencer might be Sheridan's wild card. Could he turn against the very people he's trying to save? Has he learned something out there, something terrible, that could shake the foundation of the Dutton name? If Season 3 is about reckoning, then Spencer may be the one delivering it. Whether as a savior or a storm, his return marks a turning point in 1923. And let's not ignore the bigger picture. Spencer's storyline has always felt like a bridge between past and present, between tradition and change. In many ways, he represents a new kind of Dutton, one who's seen the world beyond Montana, one who questions more than he obeys. That dynamic could create serious conflict when he finally returns home. Jacob and Kara may not recognize the man walking through the door. And if they clash, it won't just be emotional, it could be catastrophic. Season 3 might force Spencer to choose fight for the old ways, or carve out a new path for the Dutton legacy. Tiana Rainwater's story has always felt like a quiet scream, raw, haunting, and impossible to ignore. She isn't a Dutton by blood, but her journey is just as central to 1923's beating heart. From the moment we met her trapped in the horrors of a government-run boarding school, it was clear she was more than a side character. She was a symbol, a living reminder of the brutal reality Indigenous people faced in early 20th century America. Her escape from that hellhole wasn't just survival, it was rebellion, a declaration of war against a system built to erase her. And now, in Season 3, her war continues. When we last saw Tiana, she had barely escaped with her life. The scars she carries are more than physical. They're generational. And while she may be out of the school, the people who hurt her are still out there. Worse, they're still in power. Season 2 gave us a glimpse of what Tiana is capable of. She's fierce, resilient, and fueled by a quiet rage. But Sheridan didn't give her this much depth just to let her story fade into the background. No, Tiana is being positioned for something bigger. Season 3 might be where her personal fight becomes part of the larger Yellowstone saga. The most intriguing possibility? A connection between the Rainwaters and the Duttons that stretches deeper than anyone realized. We know from Yellowstone that the Rainwater name carries weight. Chief Thomas Rainwater is a key figure in the modern timeline, fighting to reclaim ancestral land from the Duttons. What if Tiana is part of that lineage? What if her journey is the foundation for the very conflict we see a century later? Sheridan loves planting seeds. He's done it before. And Tiana's storyline might be the root of a tree that grows straight into the present day. But before we talk legacy, we need to talk survival. Tiana may have escaped the school, but she's not safe. Not really. The priests who tormented her aren't done hunting. The government wants silence. And her protectors? They're few and far between. Season 3 could see her hunted, once again pushed even further into the wild. But this time, she's not running. This time, she's ready to fight. There's a deep sense among fans that Tiana's story won't end quietly. She's not just escaping anymore, she's planning. And if Sheridan is as fearless as he's been in the past, we might see her take the fight directly to those who wronged her. What makes Tiana's arc so gripping is that it doesn't feel like fiction. It echoes a real and painful history, one that's rarely shown on screen. That's why her survival feels so personal to viewers. We don't just want her to live, We need her to win, to rise, to take back everything that was stolen from her. And maybe season 3 will give her that chance. But it won't come easy. Sheridan doesn't hand out happy endings. He makes his characters earn them bleeding, crying, and clawing their way to peace. Tiana's path will likely be no different. And here's where it gets really interesting. Some fans believe Tiana and Spencer's stories might finally intersect in season 3. Think about it. 2 characters. One indigenous, one a Dutton, both fighting systems that are trying to destroy them. Both scarred by the world, yet refusing to break. If they cross paths, it could be the most explosive moment in the series. A symbolic union between 2 Americas, one clinging to power and one reclaiming it. Whether as allies or unlikely mirrors, Tiana and Spencer represent the past and future colliding. Season 3 could be Tiana's most transformative chapter yet, not just because she might get justice, but because she might become something more. A leader, a voice, a legacy. As the storm around the Duttons builds, don't be surprised if Tiana becomes a lightning bolt cutting straight through it. Because in this world, survival isn't enough. You have to make them remember your name. And Tiana Rainwater is a name that's just getting started. The truth is, 1923. Season 3 wasn't always in the cards. In fact, it wasn't supposed to exist at all. Taylor Sheridan had always been clear. 1923, like 1883, was meant to be a self-contained story. 2 seasons max. That was the plan. Season 1 introduced us to the chaos, the pain, and the beginnings of a generational war. Season 2 was supposed to close the chapter to tie up the fates of Spencer, Tiana, Jacob, and Kara. But something happened. Something behind the scenes that changed everything. Now we're looking at a 3rd season no one expected, and fans can't stop asking why. Let's start with the obvious. 1923 became bigger than anyone predicted. It wasn't just another prequel. It was a cultural moment. With Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren headlining the show, drew massive viewership and critical acclaim. Its brutal honesty, sweeping cinematography, and complex characters made it feel like more than a spin-off. It became a cornerstone of the Sheridan-verse. Paramount recognized that. And in the streaming world, numbers talk. When a show keeps people subscribed, it stays alive. And 1923, it kept people watching. Fans weren't just engaged, they were invested, and Paramount wasn't about to let that go. But viewership alone doesn't explain it. The real shift came from Sheridan himself. He's known for his creative stubbornness, for ending stories when he believes they've run their course. So what made him change his mind? Insiders say it wasn't just pressure from the network, it was the story itself. Sheridan reportedly realized that there was more to tell. Loose ends that couldn't be rushed, character arcs that deserved resolution, and perhaps most importantly, a world that wasn't finished bleeding yet. He saw it not as stretching the story, but completing it the way it was meant to be told. There's also the logistical side. Season 2 faced delays, massive delays. Between scheduling conflicts, union strikes, and post-production setbacks, the show's timeline was pushed and its original pacing was thrown off. What was supposed to be a tight 2-season arc suddenly felt rushed. Sheridan, never one to compromise his vision, reportedly refused to cram crucial moments into a shortened finale. So rather than force a conclusion, he pitched something bold, a 3rd season to give 1923 the ending it truly deserved. Not a cash grab, not filler. A final chapter, one that wouldn't just tie up the characters' stories, but would reshape the entire Yellowstone timeline. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, Yellowstone itself. With the main series coming to a controversial and much-delayed close, Paramount needs to keep the Dutton universe alive. 1923 Season 3 offers a perfect bridge, keeping audiences engaged while Sheridan prepares for whatever comes next. Whether it's a modern-day continuation, a new prequel, or a post-Yellowstone series, Season 3 of 1923 holds the line. It's a tactical move, but it's also a passionate one. Sheridan has said before, he doesn't write with profit in mind. He writes with pain, with purpose, and with pressure. And the pressure to give these characters a proper ending? That's what pushed Season 3 into reality. Still, fans are asking, will it feel forced? Will the story suffer from an unexpected extension? Sheridan's track record says no. Every time he's been doubted, he's delivered. Remember when people questioned 1883 ending after just 1 season? He stuck to his guns and it paid off. Now, with 1923, he's doing the opposite, choosing to expand when it would be easier to end. That tells us something. This isn't about milking the franchise, it's about honoring the weight of the world he created. Season 3 isn't an afterthought, it's a reckoning. Now we arrive at the big question. What will 1923 Season 3 actually show us? What secrets still lie buried beneath the snow-covered mountains of Montana, or lost at sea with Spencer Dutton? What remains of the Dutton family's legacy, and who will be left standing when the dust finally settles? This final chapter isn't just about tying up loose ends, it's about legacy, blood revenge, and the price of survival. And Taylor Sheridan isn't known for giving characters peaceful send-offs. If anything, Season 3 could be the most brutal, emotional, and shocking installment yet. Let's start with Spencer, the man whose absence has haunted his family, and whose return could change everything. After surviving war lions, shipwrecks, and heartbreak, Spencer's journey has always been about one thing: getting home. But what does home even mean for someone who's seen the worst the world has to offer? When Season 2 ended, Spencer was still separated from Alexandra, the love of his life, and mother of his unborn child. If Season 3 opens with his return to Montana, it won't be a tearful reunion. It'll be a storm. The ranch is on the brink of collapse. Jacob is barely hanging on. Kara has kept the family together with sheer willpower. And now, Spencer, a man forever changed, steps back into the fire. Will he save the family, or will he burn with it? Then there's the lingering threat of Banner Creighton and Donald Whitfield. They weren't just villains for show. They were vultures circling the Dutton land, and they're not done yet. Whitfield, with his vast wealth and sinister charm, represents a new kind of threat, the corporate, bloodless kind that doesn't need bullets to win wars. Season 3 could very well be the final showdown between the Old West and the New, between grit and greed. If the Duttons lose this fight, the Yellowstone Ranch could be gone forever. But if they win, at what cost? These aren't the kinds of battles you walk away from unscathed. We also can't forget Tiana Rainwater. Her arc is far from over, and Season 3 could bring the full weight of her fight into the main story. There's speculation, fueled by sharp-eyed fans, that her bloodline could eventually lead to Thomas Rainwater in Yellowstone. If true, her survival isn't just a personal triumph, it's a cornerstone of the larger Dutton saga. Imagine if her choices in 1923 echo all the way into the modern-day battles over land and justice. Sheridan loves that kind of poetic symmetry, and if Tiana emerges as a leader, or even a warrior, in Season 3, it could reshape everything we think we know about the Duttons' claim to the land. Now, let's talk about death, because it's coming. Sheridan doesn't shy away from killing off beloved characters, especially when it serves the story. Jacob Dutton has been living on borrowed time since Season 1. Kara, as strong as she is, has endured more than most could bear. And Spencer, he may return, but there's no guarantee he makes it out alive. Don't be surprised if Season 3 ends with heartbreak. The Yellowstone Ranch might survive, but it could come at the cost of the very people who built it. That's the essence of 1923. It's not a fairy tale, it's a tragedy in motion, a brutal saga of survival where victory often looks like loss. And yet, through all the blood, betrayal, and broken promises, there's still one thing Sheridan gives us: truth. 1923 never pretended to be clean or easy. It showed us what it really took to build a legacy. And now, as the final season approaches, the truth at the center of this world is ready to be revealed. The Duttons will fight. Some will fall, but their story, rooted in pain, loveland, and sacrifice, will leave a scar on the American West. And maybe that was always the point. So, as we brace ourselves for the final ride, one question remains: will 1923 end with peace or fire? Either way, it's going to be unforgettable. Make sure you're ready, because if we've learned anything from Taylor Sheridan, it's this: no one gets out untouched. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're excited for 1923, Season 3, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the latest updates, breakdowns, and exclusive content. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Trust me.